A few years ago, I deployed to a search where I was given this map and asked to search Area 713 with my dog Buddy. The most direct route to the search area was less than a mile on the map, but it was 1,700 vertical feet on a tough trail. So the search manager provided a van, and we were to be taken up the hill and dropped off on an old logging road about 1.5 miles from the area to be searched. Before leaving the search base, my first task was to establish control points, waypoints, which I could use to locate the search area on the ground and establish a route for my hike into the search area. I used a marker to put a control point on the map in the northwest corner, and then I read and recorded the coordinates of that point. I could have also set points on the northeast, southeast, and southwest corners at that time, but decided not to. Now we need to talk about the format of the coordinates on the map. When I went to put the coordinates in my Garmin GPS, I noticed that the labeling on the map did not follow the commonly used format for UTM coordinates, which includes a letter indicating the latitude band, and for this area the letter is T. But since I was operating inside the 10T zone, entering the coordinates was not a problem. But I was reminded of the importance of confirming that your GPS is set to the right coordinate system using the designated format and datum. If you're lucky, there will be a bulletin board at the search base listing the coordinates of its location and the datum being used, so you can make a quick check and adjust as needed. Ask for the information if you need it. Back to the search. I have been dropped off on the old logging road and I'm proceeding to the search area. At this point, the logging road disappears into an old clear cut, which has become a stand of younger trees, and the trails indicated on the original map are not distinguishable on the ground. And here I'm using a map that's easier to read. It's the same base map, but it doesn't have all the extra stuff on it. Time to stop and make a search area plan, considering the terrain, the weather, and the vegetation. First, let's get an estimate of the size of the search area. From the map, I can see that I'm in section 17, and since it appears to be a standard section, I know that it is 1 mile square, which provides references for distance and area. Knowing the approximate size, the dimensions and topography of the search area is essential in developing a search pattern. If you're conducting a grid search, it requires close attention to the search design and the search pattern. If you're working a K9 team, you will need to follow the dog as needed, but you still need a structure to ensure that the designated search area is covered. Here are two potential search patterns. First is the north-south pattern. The search lines are approximately 300 feet apart, and using this search pattern will add at least 500 vertical feet to your search. The second pattern is designed to follow the contours, which will minimize your vertical travel and might make it easier since you're mainly trying to walk level along the contour lines. If the north-south pattern is chosen, one option would be to set your GPS and navigate to the southwest corner. From there, you could navigate to the northwest corner, and in so doing, set up the baseline or the pattern for your search. After this baseline is set, you could use a compass to run the remaining search lines using the ridge line for control. Now let's take a look at using a GPS to navigate your way to a waypoint. So I want to set up to start a new GPS route. One of the first things I want to do is stop the navigation if I was navigating, and then the next thing I want to do is clear the tracks. So current track, I want to clear that track so everything is set up and ready to go. Now let's get it back to the map. Now the map is all clear up. You see the triangle, that's my current location. So now I want to start my GPS track to a new waypoint. So I've got to I'll go to the main page, find the waypoint, enter the waypoint that I want to go to. Now one thing you can notice is that this shows the direction and distance to that waypoint. Kind of interesting. So you could write down the direction if you needed to use your compass later on. So I'm going to enter again. There's the waypoint, there's the distance, direction, but now we want to hit the go button. And when I hit the go button, you see the triangle pointer, which is my current location, and the purple line, which is the direction to the waypoint. So as I move, you'll see that the triangle begins to point in the direction of my traveling. And the pink or purple, I guess we'll call it pink line, is the direction to the waypoint. So right now I'm kind of traveling at a right angle, but as I turn and begin to head toward the waypoint, you can see that the triangle, which points to my direction of travel, is now lined up with the direction to the waypoint. Now the reason I like this particular scenario is that you can look along that line, along the pink line, and study the topography between you and the waypoint. And if you see any cliffs or other topography you want to avoid, like a marsh, you can go around it. And the pink line always points to your waypoint, so you can get back lined up on it and head again down toward the waypoint. Now this is set up so that we are having the track of my route recorded, and when I get back to base and I can download the track to the search base, they'll know exactly where I've been. Oh, we're getting pretty close. We can go in a little bit. Oh, we must be getting right there. Oh, where are we going? Oh, here we go. Anyway, with the current weather conditions, there we go. We made it. Okay, let's take a look at how I operate with my GPS in the field. I normally just hook it onto my walking stick, and that way I can see the triangle, which indicates my location, and the pink line that's my direction to the waypoint, and then I can just hike along and observe the countryside, see where I'm headed, look out for stuff, you know, do my searching, whatever, and refer to the GPS when I need it. Turn and go. Of course, walking stick's kind of nice, just to help you keep balance or beat the brush out of your way. But anyway, This is a look at how I would normally operate with my GPS hooked onto my walking stick. It's pretty convenient. Everybody has their own way of doing things, but I just thought I would show you this is the way I do it. It's important to have your GPS properly set up for your search. Dedicated GPS units have an amazing array of options for setting up your unit. Important GPS settings for search and rescue units are as follows. Choose the satellite system, choose the datum, clear tracks, and set your tracks to record. Pick a color you can see. Set the map to north up or track up as you prefer. Turn off the shaded relief. Set the position format. Set the heading. Set the units. And set routing to direct. This slide illustrates how I actually managed my search of Area 713. I set a waypoint at the northwest corner of the unit, and I set my GPS to go to that point, which the search map showed to be a junction of trails, but I never found them. From that starting point, I set my compass to 60 degrees and used the ridge line as the base for my search, and I worked off the topography to guide my search, allowing for the wanderings of my dog Buddy as he explored and searched. I don't expect to conduct a search without a GPS anymore, given the need for accurate documentation and the availability of GPS units. But if I was asked to search this area and I didn't have a GPS, I could use my map and compass as follows. Of course, the first rule is to always know your location on the map. So at the point where the old logging road was no longer distinguishable, I would stop and consider my options. In this case, there's a distinctive high point on the ridgeline which can be used to define the search area and control the search pattern. So I would set my compass to north and travel, searching along the way to this high point along the ridge. Then I would run northeast at 60 degrees on the compass to that smaller high point at the northeast corner of the search area. From there I would use the ridge line and topography and the map and compass to control the search. One final observation. Today, most such search operations have computers and software which enables the search managers to create search maps and digital files which define your travel route and search area. These files can be downloaded to your GPS unit. If you are in need of a land nav refresher, check out these YouTube videos for GPS and compass work in particular.